I have a problem. As with everyone has a problem with something, but I have a problem with future games. Future games is something that has been plaguing the gaming community for quite some time. Or have they? We tend to hate on any game set in the future nowadays. Just look at the recent Call of Duty, for example. Part of the reason it was hated so much was the fact that it was set in the future, just as the last 3 games had been. Battlefield was going to return to their futuristic setting, but decided not to due to the community hammering it about their approach. So, they returned to the past setting with much appraisal from the community. But look how that turned out in later months. I do not think that the gaming community is tired of futuristic games. So many people say this that it has become a usual thing to say, but future games are still being made. These people are simply a loud minority, but somehow, we're in an age where people don't want future games. What I think is going on is that people do not want Call of Duty's perspective of a future game.
Fighting robots and shit, man, what is this?
But it's not that it's just because it's a tired concept, it is something else. There is no world building, there is no character, there is nothing. They drop a new game on us every year with the same concept of the future, the same basis. Robots, war, and jumpsuits. Sometimes new guns, but just because it has futuristic elements, it does not make it futuristic. If there is no emotion or world building, we do not have a world. We are dropped into an unknown character at some unknown point in the future. They expect us to just believe that we are in the future because it has robots fighting with us.
Robots.
It's the robots. Robots.
See some robots moving in.
We can go to the moon freely. We can jump higher. No, that is not how that works at all. We should be able to see how the world has changed over time. We shouldn't have to just shoot our way through a world unknown to us. We don't know what has changed over time. We don't see how it affects everyone on the planet. We don't see people's lives like ourselves. They should show us that, not just how technology has made war change. Old war games took gamers and put them in the shoes of a soldier, such as a simulation. We went through World War II in a game, a war that we all learned about in school. We went through modern warfare and took on a soldier's perspective over there. We already knew that world. We could take our time and shoot through that world because we knew what was going on behind that wall. We knew what was happening on the other side of the world. We weren't going through a world unknown to us. It wasn't just a playing map, it was a part of this world, and we could imagine what was going on in other places. The world existed to us because we were a part of it. Even when things not tailored to our world happened, they were feasible to us like they could actually happen. It even showed us the effects of the actions in other games. It all had weight. Call of Duty's new games have no weight because it has us shooting through unfamiliar territory while expecting us to know everything about that territory. Let us take a look at the first couple minutes of the new Prey. It does not immediately drop us into the action, instead it takes its time to show us the world. They built a whole city for 15 minutes of a multiple-hour game. We saw what people did for jobs and how the future has affected people. Us gamers could see ourselves in those people. It didn't just show us robots and future watches in order to make us feel like we were in the future. It built and showed us a world that felt lived in. So why can't recent war games do the same thing? They can't expect us to connect with a world we have no connection to, just as people can't expect others to immediately start talking to a random person like we've been friends for a long time. We have to build character. Battlefield tried to do this in Battlefield 2142, but that game never got the support or recognition from the fans as the other Battlefields did. It is a bland future world of multiplayer. We are given what the future is through exposition. We don't get to see the effects of that world. Now in contrast, look at Battlefront. It is hated by many for its mechanics, but it stands on its own due to its concept. Star Wars. A franchise that has built not only a world, but a universe, and characters to go along with that universe, since the 70s. It's not being hated on for its future concept because the people playing it already know that world, they know that universe. It's sold because of its franchise name, a key to that universe. And yes, I know, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, you get my point, however. That world felt lived in. In conclusion, I don't think game developers should stray away from the future. That may solve the problem, but not for the right reasons. I say they should embrace them, or make more of them. If game devs were to sit down and give us an in-depth world rather than give us a bland shooting range for the future, we might very well like them. We know everything about World War I or World War II. It's a cool concept to explore those worlds, yes, but games have already explored those eras, and some games are still doing them, and some would say they're doing a better job. With the future, the only constraints are those you make for yourself. Gaming is about taking us away from our lives and placing us in a world unknown to us. In a case such as that, it's about exploring that world, not shooting our way through it. Many games tend to understand this. Let us see what's behind that wall, and then let us destroy it.